So what I've done, I think I figured out why my videos were not clear. Um, Hopefully this will be better because when I reviewed it after I published it, I watched it and I was like, man, that's bad. So anyway, um, talking about the midterm exam, um, I went through, showed you how to review it, and went to the grade book. Um, and this might help you understand what you're doing wrong. Hopefully that's the whole point. But again, you can always click over what you missed and it'll tell you what you answered. The answer here is the correct answer. I've shown this before, but I'm going to show it again. Let's go to where some of the questions I just went ahead and answered to go over some of the rounding problems that we're still having. When this angle here is to the tenths place, that means it's the second one right here, the 0.1 degrees. And your answers have to be three significant digits. 5, 4, 3, that's 3 digits. Okay, that's not 3 decimal places. It's 3 digits. The next one is the same thing. 10th degree, 3 significant digits, 1, 2, 3. Now, I missed this one to illustrate the fact of what your answer may look like if your calculator is in the wrong mode. So if you're missing some of these angles, because these last 2 questions were just punching things directly into your calculator may be in radian mode instead of degree mode. So check on that. I would be more than happy to help you with it, but it's hard if I can't see your calculator. You can try it, but it's hard without seeing it. Your instructors, especially if you're in a program, your technical instructors know how to use these calculators too. They can certainly help you with that, and I'm sure they'd be more than happy to help you with that. But if not, if you're everything online, you don't go to class, you can send me a picture, and I can maybe tell you how to help you out to set that. Okay, but that's a couple things that I wanted to review over. Again, looking at the way this answer is given, okay, it is a accuracy of a trig function. So this is 4 significant digits, 1, 2, 3, 4, not 4 decimal places. So my angle should have been rounded to 2 places. Same thing here. My angle was in the tenths, so my answers are 3 significant digits, 1, 2, 3. Now, what I found was a few of you got them backwards, so make sure you know what side you're working with. Also, make sure you're choosing the correct trig equation. And if you're not, go get help. And a lot of us had problems with the circuits. Let me get to one of those circuit questions. Now, that's all. I mean, we're going to be doing a little bit more with circuits, but not like this. But on my videos, I drew a triangle for you, okay? And if you're able to do the trig with the other triangles, you should be able to do these. So there's a disconnect with these. So again, I make videos. Other people that have taught this class have made videos. We're different, You may like the other person's better than mine or vice versa, but there are videos for just about every topic we cover. Now, are they going to be exactly the same for every single homework question you work? No, but they're there, and the rest is kind of you using your thinking abilities, okay? So, work on that. Work on practicing, watching videos, again, engaging yourself in the class. Don't just come in and start working homework, okay? It's online, but still there are ways to make it so it's a little bit more like on campus, okay? So that's reviewing. Rounding. Let me look at some of the stuff that's coming up, and then I'm going to talk about rounding. So, what's coming up here? Let me go to my assignment measure. You don't have this. These are all mine. After the midterm, you've got your degrees and radians, frequency and angular velocity, law of sines, law of cosines, then a quiz. Then we go on from there with our complex numbers, phasors, logarithms. Some of these topics aren't too bad. Some of them are difficult. Law of sines, law of cosines is difficult. But I try to give you plenty of time to do them. Almost 2 weeks. So I'm giving you your spring break plus another week. So don't wait till the 28th to turn in your law of sines work. One thing I want to look at with frequency and angular velocity, and this, again, one of those items that I sit there and go, I wonder what the problem is here, because something's up. You've got formulas for angular velocity. 2 times pi times the radians, times the frequency, if it's in radians. So basically, to get the answers for this problem, you're taking 60 times 2 times pi. And same thing for the rest of them. If it's degrees, you're taking 30 times 360. So I'm wondering what's going on, because too many people miss these. These should not be that difficult. I think the problem is you're getting your formulas mixed up, because in question 1, we're talking frequency, and we've got a formula that's 1 divided by frequency for time. Well, that's different, because that's asking for the period, the time period in milliseconds. That's different than angular velocity. So make sure you're using the correct formula. Okay. Everything's all great, formulas, but if you don't know what one to use, it's a problem. Some of these you're asked to find the frequency. Like find the frequency. So therefore you got to set up an equation and solve for F. Okay, if you're given degrees, pretty much you're dividing by 360. If you're given radians, you're dividing by 2 pi. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a little heads up on it, because I hate to see so many of these missed as they are. So that's one item. The other item is with the law of sines. And I want to talk about the way the rounding. So you're not going to have those little text boxes with how to round. But what you are going to have is they're going to tell you how to round the angles or the sides, and they're different. So, I'm rounding side lengths to the nearest whole number. Well, that's a whole number. Doesn't mean you cut it off. Sometimes you round up, sometimes you leave it alone. So maybe you need to Google rounding if you're kind of stuck on what to do with rounding. 2 decimal places, well, 1 2 decimal places. Sometimes they call 2 decimal places hundredths place. Here it's to the tenths place. So they are changing up the rounding method often. So pay attention to that. Okay, pay attention to that. Tenths place is 1 decimal place. Hundredths place is 2, etc. Okay. So again, that's just kind of what's coming up. Give yourself plenty of time to prepare for your exams and your final and your quizzes. So even though I've got 4 or 5 things due the same day, that just means, pace yourself. I'm not going to sit there and do stuff every 3 days. But don't wait till the last day to do 4 assignments. That's ridiculous. Okay, it's causing yourself problems. Your grade. Yeah, let's figure out how you can look at your grade now. You've got your grade book. We do have a grade book, and you can look at, certain assignments, or you can show the calculation of your categories. So we've got homework is 10%, your quizzes are 10%, your tests are 80%. But the thing is, you got to have a passing average on the midterm and the final. Once you do that, then everything's, going to be averaged as it states here. But this can break it down as to how you're doing on each section. So make sure you kind of look at that as well. Engagement. Online classes sometimes give us the impression that we just don't need to do anything for a week or 2. And that could be no more far off from what really needs to be. You probably need to engage yourself more because you're not coming to class. I know who's engaged and who's not by the emails I get sometimes. I get email about the midterm, what to do, how to set up a appointment, how to do this. And I just had sent out a video and I took you to the proctored midterm page and I went through that whole page and showed you the links and everything. So it kind of tells me you're not watching my videos or reading my emails. So that's part of being engaged. I'm not going to sit there after I've just sent out an email showing you how to do all this stuff and explaining it to you. Okay, I know when I know you hadn't watched the video. So, watch the video. And if you're still stuck, that's one thing. But if you're not watching the video, then, you're not engaged. I've been reminding y'all about this midterm for about the last month. So, either through email or short videos explaining what you need to be doing and what you can bring and other things. So, start watching those if you're not. Most y'all are. It's about 10-15% of you that are waiting till the last minute to do things that aren't, engaging. You're not engaging yourself. So as you move forward, try to engage yourself. If you're getting help with your homework and tests that you're taking at home, and then you did poorly on the midterm, well, maybe you should try to do more on your own. Okay, I don't know who's doing what. I can only speculate on, what happens when you make hundreds on everything else and you make a 30 on the proctored test. Now, it may be anxiety. It may just be that, you're not prepared. It may be you're getting extra help. I don't know what it is. So whatever it is, try to deal with it so you can be more successful on the final. Okay. So I think again, went over my time. But again, this video is a little bit different than the other one I sent out, but it's covering the same topic. I'm hoping this one's clearer. So that's all I'm going to talk about. We'll be talking to you.